Hey everybody, it's Georgia Rose, and this is my very first video on my new page, Zenkuda by Georgia Rose. In the weeks and months to come, I'll be talking more and more about Zenkuda and what that is, and we're going to have kind of a lifestyle support community for people on the spiritual path. But tonight I want to talk about resolutions. We are 8 days into the new year, and a lot of us made resolutions on the beginning of the year, a little over a week ago. And some of us are keeping them and doing really great, and some of us aren't. So I want to talk tonight about that and maybe inspire you, and maybe some of you, if you can watch and comment at home, could inspire me in my resolutions as well, and we can work together to support each other. So what's the big deal about resolutions, and why do we do them on the new year? Well, first of all, I think new year or not, it was a great time energetically to make commitments and renew former commitments and make resolutions. Because planetarily, with the astrology right now, we've got all the planets going direct today. So some of you might have felt that if you had a really energetic day, or if you had, hectic energy today or chaos, because it was very, very busy energy today. So when the planets go direct, they're really supporting us and moving us forward. So it's really a great time to find ourselves making resolutions, because it's going to be easier to stick with them. So I have some experience with making changes in my life and making resolutions, and I'm hoping that maybe I can impart a couple of tips to you tonight in order to do that. And for those of you watching at home live, if you have anything that you want to comment about, please do it. I'll answer your comments here. So first of all, resolutions, why is it that sometimes we so often fail? Well, I have two kind of hypotheses, let's call them, about that. And first of all, I think that we often set ourselves up for failure because we pick things to maybe commit to, a diet or stopping smoking or some kind of a habit that we want to break, and we're in fear and doubt about whether or not we can do it. And if any of those things that you've made a resolution about are putting you in fear and doubt, or making you doubt yourself and think that you can't do it, then you're setting yourself up for failure. When we're in fear and doubt, we have compulsion. Compulsive behavior is caused by fear and doubt. We're doing it in order to put ourselves someplace where we are trying to avoid those emotions. So if we make a resolution that makes us feel fear and doubtful, then we're never going to stick to it. So what we have to do is, on those resolutions, go into the place of joy. The reason we really want to stick to that resolution and go forward in the future as though we've already done it, and try to really picture ourselves in the joy and the passion of whatever that goal involves. For instance, if it's a diet, picture yourself in a beautiful dress or a beautiful suit, or running a marathon, or doing something that you really always wanted to do, and put yourself in the joy of the goal and get yourself out of the fear and doubt of actually going without for the first few weeks of that resolution, whatever the habit is that you're trying to change. What is it they say, 21 days it takes to break a habit? So for that first 21 days, we're still craving and looking to repeat that behavior. But if we put ourselves in the joy and the passion of the accomplishment, then that fear and doubt becomes less because our vibration is raised. There's also something called underlying commitments. What is an underlying commitment? An underlying commitment is that we make a goal or we make a resolution, but there's something inside of us, deeper and rooted stronger than the resolution. And that underlying commitment is stronger than us accomplishing what we resolve to do. For instance, maybe it's the diet, but we can't seem to stick to it. That's because you're more committed to eating those foods than you are to doing without them. You're more committed to the donut, per se, than losing the 10 pounds. So what you really have to work at is not stopping in eating the donut. It's going to the reason why you are more committed to eating the donut and find the joy there, instead of the joy that the accomplishment of the weight loss will bring. So you see, the underlying commitment is stronger than the weight loss, and that underlying commitment is you want to eat the donut. So it sounds really simple when you think about it like that, but that's really what it is. And all through our life, we have underlying commitments that we don't realize we are more attached to than breaking the habit and accomplishing the goal. So that's kind of the psychology of resolutions. But then, of course, there's always the bigger picture, and we always do what we desire in life. We might not think we do, but we do. And we fulfill our own desires by the actions that we take and the choices we make. So when we make those resolutions, really make sure that whatever we're promising ourselves is something we really desire to do. Hi, Janine. Because you're not going to be able to stay resolved in that resolution, whether it's losing weight or quitting smoking or breaking any kind of habit or changing something in your life. You won't really be able to commit to it unless it's something you truly, truly desire more than you desire doing the habit. If you're trying to quit smoking, you have to desire not smoking better than you would desire the smoking. So find out what that underlying commitment is and what's made you really attached to those behaviors are for your time period of your life that you have had them. The other thing I wanted to talk about was what I was just touching on before about compulsive behavior versus passion behavior. And sometimes in life we think maybe a hobby is a passion. And I'll give you an example that's very personal to me. I've studied astrology now for, I guess about 6 or 7 years. And I'm extremely devoted to it. As a matter of fact, if I have a lunch break, it's my habit to always devote an hour most days of the week to the study of astrology during my lunch break. And I actually approach it as I'm going to school for astrology, and I've been doing that for several years. But recently I noticed that it's become a lot of hours and that I'm so devoted to this. And I was actually feeling really proud of myself, and I'm thinking, wow, I'm so devoted and so dedicated, and I'm so, really getting to learn so much, and I love it so much, and this is just such a great healthy habit for me and a great healthy hobby. And then I really started to look at it, and I said, I'm filling an awful lot of hours with astrology study. What's really going on here? Am I really this passionate and interested in it? Or is my astrology another distraction? Is it becoming a compulsion where every day I have to study the astrology? So I stopped doing it for a little while to test that out. And the truth is I am very passionate about astrology, but I'm an extremist and I'm an extreme person, I'm an extreme personality. So there are times when, even though I love something and I'm passionate about it, I can be compulsive about it. And once we start to get compulsive about something, it loses its joy. We lose our passion for it, and it becomes a distraction from fear and doubt. And then it becomes giving us fear and doubt. Because what happens is the very thing we're trying to distract ourselves from becomes a loop that we think about. So if you've noticed, I stopped doing my astrology videos for a couple of weeks because I needed to regroup. And I needed to make sure that I was balanced in my life and that I wasn't making astrology, which is a passion for me and that I love and that brings joy to me, something that was becoming a compulsion that I was fearful if I didn't do. So one of the things I think Gary Zukov says in his book Heart of the Soul is he says that compulsion is the unfolding of fear and doubt, and passion is the unfolding of joy. So just kind of remember that when you're making your resolutions this year, because if we make our resolutions in joy and we pick things that are going to bring us beautiful, joyful passion and desire, and that's really how we feel about the goal, then we come out of the compulsion of the habit we're trying to change. So I hope that I explained that well and that everybody gets it. I think you do. You're pretty smart out there. And thank you so much for tuning in. And that's really all I wanted to say about resolutions as we approach our second week of the new year. I hope that you all are making beautiful resolutions and are able to stick to them. Hi, Annette. I hope everything's well. I haven't seen you in a long time. And please do share, like these videos. I am truly trying to create a support channel for life support through my Zenkuda by Georgia Rose. This is a place where we can go safely to, kind of learn about ourselves spiritually, and I hope that I can learn from all of you as I hope to inspire you as well. So thank you so much. Have a beautiful evening, and I will probably be back in a couple of days with an astrology video and making it my passion once again. So thanks so much, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.